How is it going? And thank you for tuning in this video. Today I'm here with my NJPW Battle in the Valley 2021 live experience and review. The show happened this past Saturday. Without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and jump right into things. Now, if you know me, the first thing I usually do when I go to shows is get some merch, and that's exactly what I got right here. And here is a merch program that they included, so pretty much everything they were selling at the event. And there is a back with the rest of the stuff right there. So pretty much a good little thing to look at while you're in line, just to get an idea of what you're looking for. Now, of course, the one item that I did get, as always, is the event tee. Right there, very basic Battle in the Valley logo on the front. And then on the back, you have the event information. You got the logos, you got the IWGP logo as well, New Japan logo, the date, the venue, and the city. I always love these New Japan shirts. Like, they're very basic in how they're formatted and how they're made, but they just look so good and professional. So I always love getting these New Japan event shirts. They always look nice. Great looking shirt if you ask me. And they actually include some things in the bag as well. So I actually got a 30% off coupon for the Tokon shop. So definitely plan on using that. This actually expires at the end of the year. So it has a code on the back of it, which is why I'm not showing the other side of it. So I'll definitely need to put that to use before it expires. And I also got some cards, advertisement for the Strong Spirit downloadable on the app stores and whatnot. And one more thing they included, they also included this IWGP Heavyweight Championship hand towel, which is actually pretty big. It's on the Tokon shop for $10 and it was in my bag, so I'm actually kind of surprised they threw these in the bag for free. It's actually a pretty decent sized towel, so yeah, I just thought I would go ahead and show you the other things that are included in the bag. Now, moving on to the show itself, we did have a pre-show match being taped for NJPW Strong Extra on YouTube, which consisted of Bullet Club taking on the DKC and Kevin Knight. Now, I didn't see any of this match because while this match was being taped, I was in line for merch, and by the time I was out of the line, the match was already over. Like, literally, by the time I got in my seats was when the main show was starting. So I literally got in my seat as the main actual show starting. So I didn't see any of the match. It's a pre-show match. I don't really care that I missed it, to be perfectly honest, so it's what it is. But then we go into the main show, which opened up with Uemura taking on Josh Alexander, which I thought was a great, stiff, hard opening match. These two really impressed me. I know Josh Alexander, he's been doing stuff as an Impact. He just, won the Impact World Championship at Bound for Glory, which obviously he lost to Moose, like minutes later when he got cashed in on. But to see him here, I've always known him, part of the Monster Mafia with Ethan Page, so that's what I'm familiar with his stuff as. So to see him as a singles performer, it kind of was like the first time for me personally to see him, and I thought it was very impressive. I thought Uemura looked really good as well. These two were really laying their stuff in with chops, and that was the theme of the show, by the way. There were so many chops on this show, so many Ric Flair woos. I lost count. It was just like every match had at least like 50 chops in it, it seemed like. So a lot of chops throughout this show, so just a little heads up there. But yeah, these two I thought told a great story as well, with Josh Alexander targeting the leg of Uemura and Uemura targeting the arm of Alexander, both attempting their submissions and their finishes. I thought they played an excellent role into it. So yeah, great hard-hitting stuff to open the show. This is exactly how an opener should be, get the crowd red hot, really invested, and it was a very enjoyable match. And when it came down to it, Josh Alexander did get the victory with the ankle lock after working on Uemura's leg throughout the entire match, finally locked in an ankle lock in deep, and then Uemura submitted for the victory. So yeah, Josh Alexander, Uemura definitely had a great opening contest to set up the rest of the pace of the show. And preceding that, we had Brody King and Chris Dickinson taking on Bateman and Stereoso. This was a good, solid match overall. A pretty typical formula here. Right from the get-go, there's a huge brawl with Bateman and Stereoso attacking Dickinson and Brody King. And then, pretty much the match was Bateman and Stereoso working on Brody King. Chris Dickinson eventually got the hot tag, and that's pretty much the match right there. But the big story coming out of it, of course, was Chris Dickinson. Towards the end of it, it was him and Bateman. Hit a huge frog splash, but I don't remember if he went for the pin or he couldn't pin him or what, but obviously he suffered a legitimate injury. But as that was happening, Mysterioso hit a springboard onto the outside onto Brody King. But as that happened, Bateman covered Chris Dickinson and got the 3 count. So the finish came out of nowhere. No one knew exactly what was happening. Obviously, everyone just kind of figured Chris Dickinson was injured and they kind of just finished the match. So yeah, but like I said, overall the match itself was good. Just a basic tag match formula, and obviously, like I said, Chris Dickinson did get injured. He ended up actually getting stretchered out as well. From what I understand, from what he put out, I think he tore something in his leg. I don't know the exact details. I'm not gonna act like I know exactly what happened to him. I just briefly saw that, you know, he had a serious injury and he might have tore or popped something out in terms of his leg. So again, not completely sure in the details, but I know it's a serious injury and he will be out for a while. Obviously, best well wishes to Chris Dickinson in a very speedy recovery. Preceding that, we had a 10-man tag team match. We had Fredricks, Romero, David Finlay, Alex Coughlin, and Alex Zayne taking on Team Filthy. First and foremost, Tom Lawler came out in these most ridiculous Daisy Duke spandex I've ever seen in my entire life. Everyone just could not get over it. Everyone was giving him shit. It was hilarious. I just couldn't get over how ridiculous Tom Lawler looked in those Daisy Dukes, man. It was hysterical. But the match itself, the 10-man tag team match, I'm not saying it was the best wrestling match in the show, but this is honestly probably the match I had the most fun with. It was just chaotic. It was all over the place. It was a very fun 10-man tag team match. The referee did absolutely nothing. He had absolutely no power in this match whatsoever, which was another theme of this show. The referees apparently had no power because they just let everything slide to the point where everyone gave every referee shit for not enforcing any type of rule at all. So yeah, it was just chaos all around. Everyone was brawling at ringside, multi-man in the ring at once. It was just all around chaos. Of course, it is a spot where, you know, someone did a dive on the outside and took a group of people out, and someone go in the ring, do another dive, and it was just, you know, going back and forth between alternating people going, you know, doing dives, which led all the way to JR Kratos, of all people, doing a huge dive to the outside, taking everyone out. Everyone went absolutely bananas for that spot, which was absolutely awesome to see a big man like him just clear the ropes like that and take everyone out. Awesome spot. And yeah, just a very chaotic, very fun 10-man tag, if you ask me. Like I said, probably the most fun match I had during the entire show. When it came down to it, though, Fred Rosser ended up getting the pin for his team once he hit Royce Isaacs with the gut feeling. So yeah, that was that. Like I said, very, very fun match. Really, really enjoyable. After that, we had United Empire being represented by Jeff Cobb and TJP, taking on the LA Dojo's Karl Fredricks and Clark Connors. Very similar, again, to the previous tag team match, where it had a very basic formula. Just, you know, Clark Connors being worked on by both Jeff Cobb and TJP, leading up for that Karl Fredricks hot tag, which once he got it, I thought him and Jeff Cobb had a really good interaction as well. Some really good near falls and some really good stiff chops, and would like to see a Jeff Cobb and Karl Fredricks, you know, match on the line. But yeah, basic match, not really much to talk about. Finish came when, you know, Jeff Cobb and TJP are pretty much taken apart for Karl Fredricks. TJP had him for a pin, but the referee was getting Jeff Cobb out of the way. As that was happening, Clark Connors ran in and, you know, rolled over TJP and Karl Fredricks into a cradle, prevented Jeff Cobb from breaking the pin, and 1, 2, 3, Karl Fredricks and Clark Connors walk out of that match victorious. So yeah, solid match for what it was. Like I said, just basic formula and not really anything significant going on in that match. After that, speaking of United Empire, we had Will Ospreay taking on Ren Narita, and which was a great physical, hard-hitting match here. I thought Ren Narita definitely looked great. You know, the crowd was very behind him. Ospreay, you know, obviously being the dick Ospreay that he is, you know, mimicking Shibata and whatnot, and wasn't taking Narita seriously until Narita was getting some near falls on him, and the crowd was really into it. A lot of chops, a lot of hard-hitting action here from both men. Ospreay attempting the Os Cutter, which got countered by Ren Narita. Narita hitting some awesome suplexes on Ospreay and getting some great near falls on him at one point towards the end as well. And just overall a great hard-hitting matchup. And then Ospreay, you know, at the end of it was able to hit the hidden blade at the back of the neck of Narita to put him away for the 1, 2, 3. So Will Ospreay defeats Ren Narita, which was expected. But yeah, I thought Narita had a great performance, and these two went on there and had an excellent match. So yeah, up to this point, best wrestling match, overall wrestling match, if you ask me. Following that, we had Juice Robinson taking on Moose, which is obviously he is the new Impact World Champion. And again, following, you know, a great match right there. Another great match. I thought Moose and Juice Robinson went out there and just, you know, played at the crowd. The crowd was heavily into the Juice Moose chant, which I thought was great. This is a very, very fun match. I thought Juice was able to play the crowd perfectly, which... Is he Macho Man, by the way, now? He looked just like Macho Man. He had the hair, everything just looked like Macho Man on Juice Robinson. So I don't know what he's going for, but he definitely looked like Macho Man, if you ask me. But great back and forth action. Both men were at one point, you know, doing a move where they both knock each other down, and the crowd's just eating it up, loving it. Juice got and Pulp Friction, which Moose actually kicked out of, which everyone was surprised by. I honestly thought that was it when he hit Pulp Friction, but Moose kicked out of it to everyone's surprise. Hard in action, Moose hitting a one-arm spine buster on Juice Robinson, buckle bombing Juice Robinson, just absolutely destroying him out ringside as well, throwing him into the barricade. There's a lot of powerhouse moves by Moose here, and yeah, just a great brawl. That's what this match was. It was a brawl, it was a fight, and it was very enjoyable. But at the end, Moose got the upper hand, ended up hitting a spear on Juice for the 1, 2, 3, and ends up getting the win. So yeah, great hard-hitting contest there, really enjoyable. Love that match. And of course, afterwards, music hits while Moose is celebrating, and then we get none other than the debut of Jonah, formerly known as Bronson Reed in NXT. He comes out, and at first I'm thinking, okay, is he here for New Japan or is he here for the Impact World Championship? Because Moose is in the ring. He comes in, looks at Moose, then obviously drops a senton on Juice Robinson, cuts a promo about how he's here. David Finlay comes out, takes out David Finlay, and, you know, cuts your typical, you know, post-release WWE promo where it's like, oh, the shackles are off, now you're really going to see what I'm made of. You know, the typical post, like I said, release WWE promo you get from pretty much anybody. So he didn't say anything significant, but yeah, Jonah in New Japan, especially on the Strong brand, pretty much, I think it's a good fit. I think it definitely adds to it, and I definitely think he'll be a good fit. And hey, like I said, if he's going to stand strong, you know, him and Tom Lawlor on the line for the Strong Openweight Championship, there you go. That could be a program right there. But yeah, I definitely think Jonah will fit very well in New Japan. So very excited to see how he goes going forward. And then after that, we had the match I was absolutely looking forward to the most, in a match I was very, very, very excited to be seeing live. Kazuchika Okada taking on Buddy Matthews, formerly known as Buddy Murphy. Oh man, I was very, very excited for this match. And this was a great match. Now, was it one of those matches that's a must-see 5-star classic? No. But I thought the testament of Buddy Matthews and Okada going out there for 15 minutes, I thought they put on a great match. You know, Matthews looked spectacular against Okada. You got a lot of great stuff. And I mean, very early on, both men attempted both their finishes. Okada went for the Rainmaker. Matthews went for Murphy's Law. You know, it was very, very hot opening match, opening a couple minutes between both men. And the match wasn't very long, but it felt like it was minutes. Like literally every time the ring announcer would say, oh, 5 minutes gone by, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It felt like every second it happened. Like the match flew by. I mean, to the point where even my girlfriend was like, wow, only 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes already. Like the match flew by, and I thought it was a great match. Like I said, is it an instant classic? Nothing like that. But I thought it was a testament to Matthews to what he can do. I still think he's still got to get used to that style. Obviously, he's been in that WWE system for a very long time, and now he's finally free to kind of really showcase what he can do. I think Okada was just a testament to if he can really hang up there, and you know, him and Okada went out there and had a really great match, and great back and forth stuff, like I said. Great finish as well, with Okada finally hitting the Rainmaker on Buddy Matthews for the 1, 2, 3. I thought Okada was selling great. You know, Matthews was very in control, by the way. He was very in control of Okada, working on Okada's back. Okada was selling greatly for him, I thought, as well. So, like I said, great match. Definitely like to see a rematch down the line at some point between both of them. But yeah, definitely was a great testament to what Buddy Matthews can do. And I think he'll improve once he gets more comfortable wrestling that type of style, you know, strong style, just, you know, being more free to what he can do to his abilities, I guess you can say. I think we'll definitely see more of what he's actually capable of. But yeah, this, like I said, to me was more of a testament. Then obviously after the match, Will Ospreay comes out, confronts Okada. You know, says he's the real IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, that it should be him as champion. Pretty much tells, you know, hey, Okada, I'm gonna let you challenge me, because he wants the winner of January 4th to face him on January 5th at night 2 of Wrestle Kingdom. And then, you know, Okada obviously says, you know what, hey, you'll get that title, you'll get the opportunity, but just so you know, you'll be challenging me. It's not me challenging you, because obviously Ospreay thinks he's the world champion, but Okada assures him that he will be the world champion. So Ospreay challenging the winner of Shingo and Okada from night 1 of Wrestle Kingdom at night 2. It's expected, but I don't really care for it. I don't really care for Ospreay. The main event seemed to be perfectly honest, so it is what it is. But we'll see. I know it'll be a great match. They had a great match at Wrestle Kingdom this year, actually. Okada and Ospreay. I forgot which night it was, but they had a fantastic match on one of those nights. So I'm sure they'll have another great match at Wrestle Kingdom next year, if it is Ospreay and Okada, which I'm pretty sure Okada will probably beat Shingo. So yeah, great match, and setting up Wrestle Kingdom night 2. And then we go on to the main event, which was for the Never Openweight Championship. Jay White defending against Tomohiro Ishii. And of course, stipulation stated that if Tomohiro Ishii lost, he would never be able to challenge for the Never Openweight Championship again. This was a great main event here. It was a very old school New Japan style match where it was slow. You know, they were kind of building up the final moments of the match, and the final 5 or 7 minutes is where they kind of picked it up and went 110 miles an hour and just beating the holy hell out of each other with counters and just a whole different bunch of moves, and it just kicked ass towards the end of the match. So Ishii and White, I thought was a great main event. Like I said, very New Japan style feel to it. Very, very long too. It was about a 30-minute match, and it didn't feel as short as in terms of, or it didn't feel as fast as the Okada Matthews match in terms of like, it just felt like the time flew by. But it did feel like it did go at a good pace. But like by the time they said 25 minutes, it didn't feel like 25 minutes. You know, it felt like 10, 15 minutes, if that makes any difference at all. So, yeah, it was still a great match, and I thought it was a great final moments of the match as well, with Jay White doing whatever he can to hit hit his finish, you know, dropping Ishii on his head, but then Ishii getting the better of Jay White after just hitting numerous chops. Again, chop city in this match. Ishii was chopping Jay White in the throat at one point, man. It was getting nasty. These two were just absolutely brutalizing each other. But yeah, Tomohiro Ishii drops Jay White on his head with a vertical brainbuster in 1, 2, 3. Tomohiro Ishii is your brand new Never Openweight champion. Expected it, especially stipulation. Just it didn't make any sense for Ishii not to win. But very interested to see where Jay White goes going forward. But Ishii, brand new Never Openweight champion, just walks off the championship, and afterwards, you know, Jay White's just selling in the ring. He's just laying there as if he just can't move at all, and then obviously gets helped back to the ring. And that's a show for you guys. And yeah, overall, Battle in the Valley was a great show. I had a ton of fun. I don't want to say it was the best New Japan show I've been to, because I think all of them pretty much have been great, but this was up there. I thought this was a really fun wrestling show, even to the point where even my girlfriend was like, I had a lot of fun. She really enjoyed it. She even made a comment saying that, you know, she had more fun at the show than she did at Raw we went to last month. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please feel free to like below. And of course, the next time, I'll see you guys, and thank you guys for watching the video.